Russia-Ukraine war update. Attacks, counteroffensives, and key battle reports. This is what we will talk about today. We will discuss February 10th, 11th, 2025, and see what happened in the past and now what is happening. We haven't talked about situation on the front in Ukraine and Russia for a while. Let's see what has happened. Hello there, I'm Elena, welcome back to my channel Enough of Propaganda. Please like, subscribe, share my videos, and let's make truth available for everyone. Quite a few videos I made recently, but I was away for a while and I have visited the United States not too long ago. But this would be the conversation for another video. Before we will start talking about the war in Ukraine, I want to remind you that on February 10th, 3 years ago, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov went to London to assure the West that Russia has no intention of invading Ukraine, 14 days before invading Ukraine. And remember, this is Russians spent millions of dollars in propaganda convincing you that the Baltics are not next, and that they will stop the war or something like that. This is a lie. We can't trust Russia, we can't trust Russian propaganda whatsoever.
Конечно, все знают прекрасно, об этом было заявлено, что после завершения учений российские войска всегда возвращаются на свою территорию.
I will not translate his whole speech. He's trying to say that basically the leader of United Kingdom and ministers he talking about are complaining and kind of came to de-escalate the situation so the war in Ukraine wouldn't start it. At the time there were military training exercises going on, Russia, Belarus, and he just stated that the West will pretend that they de-escalated the situation, but everybody knows that after the training, military trainings, Russian forces are returning back home. So basically nothing can happen, Russia will not attack Ukraine. Guess what happened? Russia attacked Ukraine. Couple weeks later. And after that, there was the bloodiest war in Europe since 1945, started by Russia. And this war didn't start in 2022, it started in 2014. And full-scale invasion started a couple weeks after this lie. Let's talk about Russian losses. From February 24th to February 11th, Russia lost 851,880 people, dead, wounded, and missing in action, and 1,390 in one day. And I see they started to lose less tanks because they simply running out of tanks, and so on. And only mid-wave attacks bringing Russia at least some teeny tiny gains of territory in some places. You can see more information in this article, for example. This is information from ISW for February 10th. And I want to point out that Ukrainian forces continue to target oil refineries in Russia as part of ongoing strike campaign against Russian defense, industrial enterprises, and oil refineries. Several major refineries were hit recently. One was in Ryazan city, which was about 5% of oil. It's a big deal. And then another one was in Volgograd region, for example, my hometown. And it's about 7% or something like that, and several others. One was very recently. Let's talk about airstrikes and attacks. Ukrainian drones and missiles targeted oil refineries, fuel depots, and pumping stations in the Rostov, Volgograd region, and Krasnodar Krai, this is one is in Krasnodar Krai, Krasnodar region. According to Astra, between February 8th and 10th, the strikes targeted the Rostec helicopter plant in Kuybyshev Lysychansk oil pipeline. This footage is from 5th of February, the fire on a small oil depot Albashneft in Krasnodar region. This is Ukrainian strike on Afipsky oil refinery, which is Krasnodar Krai, Krasnodar region. This is very important because the Russian army are really using oil from this refinery. This is important. Another attack happened last night. Ukraine hit the Saratov oil depot It was important as well. And this is the map of Russian attacked Russian plants and oil refineries and so on from 8th to 10th of February 2025. This is Volgograd region, this is Rostov region, and this is Krasnodar Krai or Krasnodar region. Let's look at the map. This is Deep State, Project Deep State. Very accurate, actually, project. It just they updating maps later, several days later, just not to interfere with Ukrainian offensives and so on. And this is from 5th of February to 10th. Look at this area. This is Kursk region of Russia, and the major town Sudzha, major point which Ukraine is holding. And Russia tried to really tried to get Kursk region, this part of Kursk region, back from Ukraine, because Putin looked bad that for half a year Ukrainian troops holding piece of Russian territory. And this is what happened in a few days. So Russia was trying to get the Sudzha, and it didn't work out. More than that, Ukraine started another offensive several days ago. And this is what happened. So Ukraine move closely and take some ground. And now the threat of Russia getting Sudzha back basically gone. In Kursk region, the intense fight continues. Russian forces are attempting to regain lost positions south of Sudzha. And according to Deep State, Ukrainian armed forces are advancing near Cherkasskaya Konopelka, Kruglenskaya and Nikolskaya. Pro-Russian sources claim that Russian forces have recaptured Fonoseivka and conducting clearing operations in Cherkasskaya Konopelka, but this is not true. So far, I don't see any confirmations of that. This is where Cherkasskaya Konopelka is, and this is Deep State saying that Fonoseivka may be kind of gray zone and so on. So it's not like captured by Russia or anything. This video is from February 2025. Repel of Russian attack near Cherkasskaya Konopelka in Kursk region. I will say a couple words about North Koreans, which they kind of disappeared for a while from Kursk region, but they kind of appeared again. This is the using tactic of alive waves during attack on the positions of Ukrainian army in Kursk region. This is February 2025. So they kind of appeared again. Now we will jump from Kursk region to Pokrovsk direction. And look closely here. Russian troops are still fighting, and clashes are ongoing, and Russian forces are trying to advance from Sribne to Zaporizhia, not the Zaporizhia city, but that the little town in Pokrovsk direction. The Ukrainian army at the same time is launching counterattacks near Dachanskaya and Водяное Второе and Песчаное. And according to Ukraine's 425th Separate Assault Regiment, AFU are clearing the outskirts of Kotlin. Military blogger, Russian Z-blogger, Yuri Podolyaka warns of large-scale Ukrainian counteroffensive, as 12 Ukrainian brigades, including 3 artillery units, are concentrated in this sector. I wouldn't trust him on word, because this is a Russian Z-blogger, but from their whining we can find out things. Not much we learn from Ukraine, because it's supposed to be quiet. That's why I won't talk too much about it either, because Ukrainian counteroffensive need quiet time. But since even Deep State updated the map, I decided I'll tell you this much. But this is big blow, and especially in Kursk region. this is a big blow for Russia. And according to Michael Naki, for example, it's not necessarily mean that Ukraine gonna go into big offensive around Pokrovsk. Very much they might just stabilize the front, but we will see what happens. So far, we can't say for sure. This is Russian front road near Selidovo. This is Pokrovsk direction. The source of this video is Karty and Strelочки. It's called Map and Arrows channel. And meanwhile, we will talk about Bakhmut direction. Russian forces are reinforcing their positions by constructing a 2-kilometer anti-drone tunnel along the Bakhmut-Chasiv Yar road. Fighting is ongoing near Orekhovo-Vasilievka, though Russian Ministry of Defense claims of capturing the settlement, but this was even Russian Z-bloggers meet it with skepticism, because this is not true. And this is Bakhmut-Chasiv Yar. Not much happened here so far. Now we'll talk about Horlivka, Donetsk region. Russian Su-25 attack aircraft was lost in the Horlivka region, and the evacuation helicopter was targeted by FPV drones. This is how it happened. This is deep state. What I meant, this is what deep state we're talking about, and this is the attempt to knock down the helicopter which came with to assist that knockdown Su-25. On Liman direction, Russian forces are assaulting Yampolivka and Terny, which is right here, attempting to encircle Ukrainian troops. AFU reported difficult situation as the enemy applies pressure from the southeast. On the Kupiansk direction, not too much is happening here, but Russian command is facing logistical challenges in supplying forward units on the right bank of the Oskol River. Russian aviation attacked Kramatorsk using FAB-500 glide bombs, resulting in 1 fatality and 9 injuries. Shelling in northern Donbass injured 6 people. Ukrainian army reported 139 Shahed drones on the night of February 8th, 151 on February 9th, and 83 on February 10th. So, in the conclusion, I could say the situation remains extremely tense, and the coming days could be critical for both sides. More detailed report on what is happening on the battlefield you can read here in the Insider. And this one is, I translated for you into English, so you're welcome to look closely if you like. Russian military bloggers continue to complain about systematic issue of Russian forces submitting false reports to Russian military authorities and of high-level Russian officers micromanaging tactical level units on the battlefield. So basically you need a general to lead Russian troops into the attack. Another horrible thing is that Russian authorities reportedly authorized the systematic torture of Ukrainian prisoners of war, POWs, held in Russian prisons as early as March 2022. We might talk about it later in a different video. Wall Street Journal has an interesting article on that matter with big investigation. And torture orders from the top. Russian prison officials instructed guards to be more brutal with Ukrainian POWs and lifted all limits on violence. They basically was running out of batteries in the electric shockers, and horrible things were happening. Sabotage attempts continue in Russia. In the Ivanovo region, Konstantin Nagaiko, accused of 2023 strike on the village of Groza, was assassinated. That was the time when Ukrainians get together to say farewell to their dead people, basically a funeral, and this man and the Russian army attacked and killed civilians in this village at the time. So war criminal got assassinated. Reports also indicate that FSB and GRU are attempting to recruit Ukrainians for sabotage operations, but often eliminate them to avoid financial payouts. Let's say a couple words about political situation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy stated that he is willing to negotiate with Putin, but only with the United States and European Union support. Basically, he said, don't betray us. He also announced a new contract service for Ukrainians aged 18 to 24, distinct from mobilization. In this particular video, also, Zelenskyy said that Russia is preparing to attack the West, not Ukraine. Not just Ukraine. Zelenskyy intelligence shows Russia is increasing its military size by over 100,000. Putin wants a larger war expanded outside of Ukraine, and Zelenskyy is right about that. We either stop Russia and help Ukraine, or Russia will move forward. American new President Donald Trump has scheduled a meeting with Zelenskyy next week, according to him. And he managed to say a few stupid things again.
And, you know, they may make a deal, they may not make a deal, they may be Russian someday, or they may not be Russian someday.
Americans, would you please explain your leader that Ukrainians will never be Russian, ever again? Ask any Ukrainian. This will not happen. And if your leader is so incompetent or doesn't know very much, please bring adults into the room and explain this to him. This post is from Natalka from Kiev. Can someone please show President Trump footage of Ukrainian POW after being released from Russian captivity? Look at this guy. Look what Russian torture did to this poor man, who they captured on his own territory defending his own country. This is Russian propagandist from the United States, Tucker Carlson, and he's lying again.
Second fact, not guess, fact is Ukrainian military is selling a huge percentage, up to half of the arms that we send them. Half. And I'm not guessing about this, I know that for a fact.
Oh, really? I'd love to see proofs of that. If it's a fact, you obviously can prove it, just like that. Turn out to be not. This is a lie. And not only a lie, this is Russian propaganda stunt from the Operation Doppelgänger, which I told you about, I explained you how it was done, I showed you the facts and documents from Russia proving how it's done. And now, I have also a video about Tucker Carlson. This is my playlist about the United States, in English and in Russian videos. Why does the United States help Ukraine? And fighting propaganda about USA aid to Ukraine. And all these lies. And this is the video Foreign Agents of Putin about Tucker Carlson and so on. So, Tucker Carlson is lying. And if there are his supporters, which I don't think they will come to my channel, that's for sure, I'd love to see proofs of that. If that's a fact, it should be proven. He can't prove it because it's a lie. In this my video, it's not about just Zelenskyy. This is shown Russian Operation Doppelgänger and propagandist campaign in different countries. And this is a bigger video, there are shorter videos about that. You're welcome to watch it, and you will see all the proofs you need to find out how it was done, and how it's still getting done. And Tucker Carlson is one of the ones who is spreading Russian propaganda. This is a lie, what he is saying. Another interesting information is that the pro-Russian Moldovan breakaway Republic of Transnistria refused aid from the European Union to resolve its gas crisis, demonstrating Russia's continuous economic influence over Transnistria and the Kremlin prioritization of the region. So, an idiot from Transnistria refusing help and gas in winter. Well, when the contract finished on the moving gas into the Moldova and Transnistria, Ukraine didn't renew it. Why would they? And they had 3 years to prepare themselves to do so and switch to something else, and there were offers from European Union, but they prefer to suffer, I guess. Important things happened on February 9th. It was a big day for Europe as a whole that the Baltic states, good friends of Ukraine, have officially disconnected from Russia's power grid. The energy system are now fully synchronized with the continental European network. And Zelenskyy congratulated their friends Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia on this achievement. This is important. This is very important. At the same time, Russian propagandist Maria Zakharova stated that the Baltic states' disconnection from the Russian energy system is a step towards destroying the independence and prosperity, apparently. Unbelievable. So this is kind of summary of several important things which happened on the front and outside of the front. And have a great day. Thanks for watching. Learn the truth and stay informed. See you later.